Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. After a lovely week away, I am back and ready to make some great content for everyone. So if you've saw my last video, you saw the books that I was taking on holiday with me. And I thought I had to review them, seeing as though that I said I was going to read them. And I did read them all. So we have Witch Hunt by Sid Moore, Like a Charm by Kerry Barrett, Liar's Beach by Katie Kotugo, and Icebreaker by Hannah Grace. And I am so happy that I took all these books on holiday. I will say it was really weird because the first couple of books actually had some very interesting links to where we're staying. Like it was like a lot of mentions of Boston, and it was weird. Which seemed kind of like they were meant to be on holiday with me. I know that sounds weird, but it's sometimes what I think when I read books, and I'm like, I'm staying at this place that's near Boston, and I'm reading about a place that's called Boston, or features Boston. Of course, the first two books featured witchy vibes, which was great. I loved them. And I'm going to start off with reviewing Witch Hunt by Sid Moore. Witch Hunt by Sid Moore was an absolute favourite for me. I read it at the beginning of the holiday because I was reading it when we set off, and I had to bring it with me to finish it, of course. The genre I would say is like contemporary fiction or just general fiction. It's not a lot of romance. It's definitely kind of thrillerish. But let me read the blurb and then I'll talk about it some more. To find the truth, she'll risk her life. Sadie Asquith has been fascinated by the Essex witch trials for as long as she can remember, and for good reason too. Between 1560 and 1680, hundreds of innocent women were tried for witchcraft. She begins researching the subject, but soon starts to experience strange ghostly visions. Dark shadows haunt her every step, sobbing sounds wake her in the night, and black moths appear from nowhere. It's as if by digging up history she has opened an unearthly connection to the women who were tortured and killed centuries before. And when a long-buried secret entwines Sadie's own past with what she has discovered, she'll risk everything, even her life, to uncover what really happened all those years ago. This book, when I say hauntingly beautiful, I mean it was hauntingly beautiful. 5 out of 5 stars. The main character's journey through this book started off with her learning about the witch trials for work, and she gets so invested, and it's really interesting to see her take on the witch trials as a modern woman. There's so much information in this book. I'd love to know how true it was. I think it must be very true. Well, must be quite true because I think the author did a lot of research. But just the harrowing of some of the flashbacks and how women were treated when they were accused of witchcraft, and just the general horror of it really comes across in this book. And I would definitely say it's very worth a read if you're interested in the witch trials or like the darker side of the. I want to say Middle Ages possibly, because that's when the witch trials were all about. Like I said, it's the 16th and 17th century, so yeah, I would class that as, I think, Middle Ages, but any historians can correct me in the comments below if I got that wrong. Highly enjoyable, dark and twisty. The main character Sadie finds a lot out about herself as well as she goes through this journey with the Essex witch trial. So it's really all interconnected, and history is kind of repeating itself in a very in a way that makes it seem, I don't really know, like in a way that just makes it seem like it's supposed to happen. Like when they say things happen for a reason, it's like it just everything's intertwined, and it's beautiful. So I give this one a 5 out of 5 stars. The next book I'll be reviewing is Like a Charm by Kerry Barrett. Like a Charm by Kerry Barrett was an utter dream to read. It was 214 pages. I did read it in like one afternoon or a day or something. And it's comedy, it's romance, it's family drama, it's small town, village vibes, it's everything you could want and more. It follows Esme McLeod, who is a high-flying lawyer in London, but her life isn't as perfect as it might seem. She is estranged from her family, in a toxic relationship with a married man, and she's a part-time witch. As a teenager, Esme discovered that her meddling mother had cast a spell on Esme's boyfriend Jamie. Mortified, she fled her hometown in the Scottish Highlands, cutting ties with her mum, Jamie, and magic. Well, nearly all magic, sometimes getting served at a bar or finding a space in a busy car park without magic is just too much of a drag. When Esme's aunt becomes ill, she reluctantly returns home to help out. What she doesn't expect is for her aunt's doctor to be Jamie. As Esme tries to repair her family relationship and master her unpredictable magic, could it be that sparks are flying between Jamie and her for real this time? It was an easy read. I gave it 4 stars. I definitely want to read the next book in the series. I haven't been able to find any of these books anywhere else. I got this at the works last year, and they haven't had any of the other ones, which is very disappointing because I'd absolutely love to read about the other characters, especially Esme's cousin. I think she'll be a very interesting story to cover if I ever could find them. But light, easy, not too harsh on the brain. It was a good holiday read overall, so 5. So it was definitely worth me taking it and giving it a go. For someone like me who was a quick reader, it didn't last very long at all. But if you're a slow reader, it's probably definitely more up your street. For me, sometimes it was a bit too easy, I would say, and like you could tell where the story was going. But that's why I gave it 4 stars. The next book I'm reviewing is Liar's Beach by Katie Cordugo. Now, when I say this book by Katie, I can't say her last name, and I'm sorry if I am absolutely butchering it. Katie Cortugno. Liar's Beach, absolutely amazing. Kept me on the edge of my seat. I wasn't too sure going into this because it is very much it's classed as young adult. However, it's the best young adult thriller I've read in a while. I absolutely loved it. It was gripping. I couldn't tell where the story was going to go. All the characters were really dramatic, but also kind of equally hilarious because they were rich and spoiled, and it was fabulous. So let me read the blurb for all of you guys. A body in the pool, a friend who might be an enemy, a vacation they'll never forget. Lyndon has always felt like an outsider, and spending the summer at his best friend's vacation house, surrounded by money and privilege, is doing nothing to lessen his imposter syndrome. But he soon has bigger concerns than fitting in. There's a body in the pool and everyone's a suspect, including him. I am aware that now, after researching a little bit, that this is part of a series. This is number 1. And I think the second one is out this year. It might be the end of the summer, but I'll definitely be keeping an eye out for it because I need more of Linda. And the girl that helps him investigate in the series. I don't want to give too much away because it's a very fast-paced book, and I feel like I could slip up with spoilers right now, and I really don't want to because it's definitely one that if you're into thrillers or young adult thrillers, you should definitely at least give it a try. Like I said, I found it great, and Lyndon as a character was great. I don't normally read a lot of books that have male main characters as like the focal point, but Lyndon was really interesting to kind of dive into, and his wanting to fit in and be part of the like rich it crowd was really interesting, especially when all these secrets start coming out and he kind of starts his mind kind of starts unraveling, and he's like, do I really know these people? Do they know me? Kind of thing. It's really interesting. I would say some of the characters are quite annoying, but that is probably just because they're rich and spoiled and think they can actually get away with murder. It's hilarious. But it's overall like one of those classic rich people in vacationing in like island thriller books, if that makes sense. I know there's been numerous like adaptations of this kind of thing before, but yeah, very good, and I'll definitely be looking out for the second book. So it's a 4 out of 5 for me. the last book I'm going to read, the last book I'm going to review even, which I was really hesitant to read, is Icebreaker by Hannah Grace.
2.
Now, what to say about Icebreaker by Hannah Grace is that I probably should have read it sooner, and now I am dying for me to read Wildfire, but silly me is waiting for it to be picked out of my TBR jar. But Icebreaker by Hannah Grace, 5 out of 5 stars. Somebody should have warned me about Nathan, because now I want a Nathan in my life. I absolutely adored this whole Nathan. I think it's Nate. I got that wrong. Yeah. I absolutely adored this book. I thought it was fantastic. I loved the complexity of how anxiety and needing to be in control was shown. Anastasia was really relatable, and the whole book was just fabulous. Definitely not one that, if you can't hide your reactions, that you should read in public though, because it's very saucy at times. But highly recommend. Like I said, 5 out of 5 stars. Let me read the blurb so you can all get a gist of what it is about, if you're like me and are only just hearing about this now. Otherwise, you're probably in like the 95% that has read this and has been trying to get other people to read it for like the past year. So I'm sorry that I am behind on the times. Anastasia Allen has worked her entire life for a shot at Team USA. It looks like everything is going according to plan when she gets a full scholarship to the University of California at Maple Hills and lands a place on the competitive figure skating team. Nothing will stand in her way, not even the captain of the hockey team, Nate Hawkins. Nate's focus as captain is on keeping his team on the ice, which is tricky when a Felicity's mishap means they are forced to share a rink with the figure skating team, including Anastasia, who clearly can't stand him. But when Anastasia's skating partner faces an uncertain future, she may have to look to Nate to take her shot. Sparks fly, but Anastasia isn't worried because she would never like a hockey player, right? This book, when I say it has so much representation, I mean, I never expected it to have so much representation. You have Robbie, who's paralysed from the waist down, I think, and in a wheelchair. And the talk of making everything accessible for him was amazing. You have Lola, who's just great. We love Lola. All the side characters are just amazing. The hockey team is like one big family, so I'd definitely say it's like got tropes of found family in this, which if you watch my videos, you know I love found family. I will choose found family over anything, any day. And Anastasia's budding relationships with everyone on the hockey team in this book is just, it's so warm and comforting, and it makes me want to giggle and kick my legs every time I think about it. Her relationship with Henry is great, and I love them showing that like not every sports player is like extroverted and wants to be like partying all the time. I thought that was really impressive. I just thought it covered a lot of bases, and I'm just sad that I haven't read this sooner. So 5 out of 5. I will definitely be reading Wildfire when I get around to it, and I will just keep you updated on my newfound love for Hannah Grace. So that is all the books I read on holiday. It's the best reading time I've had on holiday for a while, just because I think I chose some really good books that had so many different genres, and everything was just fab. So most of them were 4 or 5 stars, which is great. And yeah, thanks for watching. Please don't forget to like, share, subscribe, comment, give me video ideas, and look forward to my next video, which will be either my July TBR or a haul of all the books, all the new books that I've got recently, which is actually quite a few. Oops. But till then, thanks for watching, and hope you enjoyed the video.